This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Start protecting yourself on the web today with 66% off a 2-year plan at nordvpn.com/nameexplain. Okay, so before I get into this video, I just want to clear the air. While I might be referring to specific names being associated with a specific group of people, I really want to stress that this situation isn't, quite literally in this case, black and white. Names more commonly associated with African Americans can be given to white Americans, and names more associated with white Americans can be given to African Americans, and even people not from America can have these names. With this video, I just want to look into the history of these names and how they're constructed. My intention isn't to upset or anger anyone with this video, but if you are upset by it, I seriously apologise. But what exactly do I mean by African American names? Well, take a look at any list of African American names and hopefully that will shed some light on exactly what I mean. Names like DeMarcus, Keisha, Lamar, Shanice, just to name a tiny amount. Compare this list to popular white names and we have things like Colin, Emma, Logan, Amy, once again just to name a few. It's easy to see the difference in these names. So why did African American culture lead to the creation of names? Well, the advent of these names becoming more popular is fairly recent, believed to have come into popularity in the 60s and 70s. Prior to this, many African Americans had names of European American origin, where slaves taken from their homelands were given white names. However, once emancipation took place, many former slaves did change their names. One former slave, Martin Jackson, spoke about this in the 1930s, explaining how he took on the surname Jackson after being freed, due to one of his grandfathers in Africa being called Jasio. Speaking of African names, this is where a lot of these African American names come from. During the 60s and 70s, with the likes of the Black Power movement, many African Americans wanted to show more pride in their African roots. Actually, speaking of roots, thanks to the television show Roots, the name Kizzy soared in popularity in the African American community. Kizzy wasn't the only name to become popular, however, as many names of African origin were either borrowed, adapted, or made up completely to sound African. In example, Amani is a popular female name in African American culture, and it's from Swahili origins, meaning faith. While Arabic, not African, the name of the famous basketball player Shaquille O'Neal is an African American spelling of the Arabic name Shaquille, a good example of a foreign name being adapted. And like I said, other names were made up completely using established suffixes and prefixes, such as the name Jaquan, which is believed to be a combination of the name elements Ja and Quan. Name elements seem to be important in African American culture. In fact, many African American names are just already established names with a prefix or suffix added to them. The Ki or Ka prefix is popular and can be seen with names like Kalisha, which comes from Lisha, a shortening of Alicia, and adding the Ka in front of it. But the most popular prefixes added to names has to be the ones of French origin, like La and D. Take names like La Donna, which is just Donna with La added to the start of it, and Deshawn or DeMarcus, which are just the names Sean and Marcus with D added to the start of them. It's way more than just prefixes, however, in the role that French plays in African American names. Many African American names are fully French in origin. French names came to be adopted by African Americans due to the French population of Louisiana. In example, the African American name of Lamar is of French origin, deriving from the Old French La Mer, which means the pool, and Mer still means sea in French to this day. Perhaps the name that best encapsulates a French African American name is DeAndre, which is the established French name of Andre with a French D prefix added to it. And you have most likely noticed that apostrophe at the end of the name too. These pop up often in African American names, and there seems to be a couple schools of thought as to why this happened. One idea is that it was solely decorative, while the other idea is that they came to be due to the fact that when these names were being coined, typewriters didn't have accented letters, so the accented E at the end of Andre was replaced with the regular E with an apostrophe added to the end. These African American names soared during the 70s and 80s, but apparently in more recent times they have been on the decline. There seems to be different schools of thought on this matter. Some see this as being a sign of African Americans having integrated more into life in the United States, not being seen as outsiders with a different culture. While this can be seen as a good thing, others believe that it isn't, and African Americans should celebrate their own unique culture with more of these African American names and bring them back. Like I said, these are just two schools of thought expressed by others and not my personal ramblings. Something I will personally ramble on about, however, is the fantastic NordVPN, who of course have very kindly sponsored today's video. This video has been about culture in the United States, and I'm actually going to the United States soon enough for a getaway, and being a YouTuber means I'm always on my phone scrambling for good, secure Wi-Fi. With NordVPN, I definitely don't need to scramble as hard because no matter where I hop on the internet, Nord's military grade encryption keeps my information secure. NordVPN is the best VPN I've ever had the pleasure of using. Its super fast servers are in over 60 countries and means I can use any Wi-Fi source with peace of mind knowing my information and data is secure and I'm getting the perfect online experience. While I'm in the States, I'll be able to connect to their servers in the UK and be able to access my special British internet. It's like normal internet but with more tea and biscuits. And if you aren't too sure if NordVPN is for you or even how to use it, their 24/7 customer support and 30-day risk-free money-back guarantee should give you as much peace of mind as their service does. NordVPN helps more than 1 million people overcome internet censorship and even works in nations with stricter content control like China and Saudi Arabia. NordVPN is offering my viewers 66% off a 2-year plan. That's about $3.99 per month. Just go to nordvpn.com/nameexplain or click the link in the description and use the promo code NAMEEXPLAIN to sign up and start protecting yourself with this awesome deal. Once again, that's nordvpn.com/nameexplain, no spaces, and get started today. Thank you. And of course, thank you to all my patrons who financially support NameExplain on a monthly basis. Your help makes NameExplain better than it could ever be. Thank you.